when you travel around the world, what are some of the most common questions people ask about the Christian faith?
I think perhaps one of the most common would be just what's the evidence for God? Many unbelievers have been taught to just spout the slogan, "There's no evidence for God." And they've never met anybody who actually has any. And therefore it rocks them when you say, well, I can think of at least 5 good reasons for God's existence. And at that point they've got to say, well, what are they? Like what? And then you're off and running and you can share with them these arguments. So that's one of the most important, is just what's the evidence? Also, I think the problem of evil and suffering in the world is a great question. When you look at all the pain and the misery in the world, it's hard to believe that God exists. And so they want some sort of an explanation or account of how God can exist and yet there be so much pain and misery in the world.
So then, concerning evil, in your lecture you said that without God we have no deliverance from evil. Why is that so?
Well, if there is no God, then that means that the suffering and evil that occurs in the world is to no purpose. It's just the accidents of the laws of nature operating on initial conditions and then the free acts of people. And there's no redemption for these. They are without purpose, they are without redemption, and therefore on atheism it's really a horrible, hopeless situation. I remember debating an atheist philosopher recently at the University of Massachusetts. She had once been a Catholic, and in her final rebuttal, she made a very interesting remark. She said, one of the things that one does give up when you become an atheist, and that I miss, she said, is that there is no redemption anymore. On atheism, the world is just filled with unredeemed suffering and evil, and there is no redemption from one's own evil acts as well. There's nothing to atone for your own evil actions and deeds, and so it really is a hopeless situation on atheism.
So just a follow-up question on that. What do you consider the main reasons for, or to put it another way, why not be an atheist?
Well, I think that the God hypothesis makes sense of a wide range of the data of human experience. This is an extremely rich explanatory hypothesis. For example, I think God provides the best explanation for why something exists rather than nothing. God is the best explanation of the origin of the universe at a point in the finite past. God is the best explanation of the fine-tuning of the universe for intelligent, interactive life. God is the best explanation for the existence of objective moral values and duties in the world. God is the best explanation for the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. And I think the very possibility of God's existence implies that God actually exists. Now, that's just to label the arguments. All of them need to be fleshed out and developed, but I hope that at least illustrates the wide range of data that makes sense if God exists.